Welcome back to the Mapuana Reed Show. Today we are talking all about starting before you are ready. That's the one thing I think that's super hard for women. And it was hard for me, but I just knew if I didn't get through day one, I would never get to day 100. Like this podcast episode, this is going to be episode 57, which I'm so shocked at. Like 57 episodes. I'm just so proud of myself for that. And I would have never gotten to episode 57 had I not done episode one. And I think the first maybe 5 to 8 episodes were the hardest because I was such in this state of like transitioning out of photography and into this, which is like completely new to me. I knew nothing, but I needed to remind myself, like, I needed to go back and remind myself, like, remember when you started photography, you also knew nothing and you started. So this episode is for you. If you're a woman who knows that you want to start something and you know that you are meant for more, but you keep waiting for the perfect time, well, today I want to remind you that ready is a total lie. And starting before you are ready might be the biggest, best thing that will change your life. If you're here listening to this episode, then I know that you are ready, even if it doesn't feel like you're ready. I'm going to take you on a little journey of me starting when I wasn't ready. There's a thing that I do on the podcast, and it's called The Job. JOB is Journey on Becoming. And I absolutely love all the women who I get to interview and their stories on who did they have to become to get to where they are today. And I call it The Job, JOB, Journey on Becoming. And I don't care if you are Instagram famous, you are not famous, you are a mom, you have a 9 to 5, no matter what it is, I know that we all go through different chapters of our life. But whatever chapter you had to enter, who did you have to become to enter that chapter? And that to me is so powerful. I feel like we take away so much knowledge and so much from that chapter to help us build our very next chapter. So, an example for me would be when I started photography. I knew zero about photography. And to think now, I think photography was like 17 years ago. Like, I can totally remember my day one. I can remember going to Costco. We were living in California. I went to the Westlake Village Costco. And I remember I bought myself my very first Canon camera. And I knew nothing about photography. I didn't even know where the freaking on button was. I didn't know what all those little buttons do. And I didn't know anything about shutter speed, aperture, all of that stuff. That was like a total foreign language to me. But I knew if I didn't start at day one, I would never, ever get to 15 years in the business, making 6 figures, doing all of those things that I did in my photography chapter. And then as I entered launching this podcast, like, I had to start before I was ready. The first couple episodes were really challenging, I think, because I kept looking to other people who were doing podcasts and thinking like, well, I'm not that good. I don't have what they have. And then I thought to myself, well, hey, wait, remember when you were a photographer and you just started? So what I'm taking from that chapter of my photography is all the lessons that I learned. And just knowing for a fact that starting before you are ready is truly one of the best things you can ever, ever do. I am deep in it right now in building another business. And the same thing, it's like, I think to myself, like, okay, what the hell? People are going to be like, well, you did photography for 15 years. Then you launched the podcast in 2024. And now 2025, you're doing another business. Yes. Yes, I am. Okay. I don't want to tell too much about it because I am deep in the process of creation right now. And my plan is to launch it in 90 days. So in 90 days from now, you come back to this podcast and I'm definitely going to be talking all about the thing that I built in 90 days. But what it is I'm taking all the lessons that I learned previously from all those different chapters, including starting the podcast, and I'm bringing that with me. So I know all the things that are going to show up when I want to start something new. So the first thing that starts when I want to start something new, it is total excitement. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do this. I want to do that. And then the very next thing that just, I know that this thing's going to slap me right in the face. It's resistance. It's overthinking. It's this loud inner critic that says, What will people think? It says she's already doing this. Why is she wanting to do that? Or who am I to do this? Or even where do I even begin? People, YouTube University, okay? Shit's free out there. There's so much stuff out there. There's so much knowledge with today. Today's freaking 2025, people. You don't need to be reading the books and going to the library and all that kind of stuff. It is out there on YouTube. Get on YouTube and Google anything you want to learn, and trust and believe it will show up. But these are all the things that I know had showed up for me. And being that I've already started a business previously, I knew it was coming. A lot of stuff came with it, like guilt, shame, imposter syndrome, self doubt, overwhelm of like, oh my gosh, I'm back at day one again. Comparison, like me comparing myself to other people who have been doing this for like 10 plus 20 years. And the fear of judgment. It's like, what the hell are people going to think? They're going to be like, this lady can't keep it together. She's got a photography business for 15 years, and then she's launching the podcast, and now she's launching this other business. So I'm here to say, yes, you are absolutely correct. Yes, I am. Yes, I am going to do all those things. And you can go ahead and think it if you want. And honestly, I think to myself, I want this so much more than what I care about what you think of me. And that right there is the truth. One of the first things I want to talk about also is why women wait. There's a couple reasons. One of them is the myth of readiness, right? Like we wait for confidence, we wait for clarity, we wait for money, we wait for the right time, we wait for permission. We're just like waiting. And it's like, do you think all these things are going to come? Do you think the confidence is going to come if you don't start? Do you think clarity is going to come if you don't start? Do you think money is going to show up at your door if you don't start? And do you think someone's going to give you permission? You need to give that to yourself. You need to start when you are not ready. You need to start and just know that you're going to be at day one, and you need to be okay with it. You know, all these things, all these doubts are all going to slap you right in the face the moment you say, I want to do this. But if you know that all these things are going to show up, you're just ready for them. You're like, oh, there you are, but I'm still going to do it anyway. There you are, but I'm still going to go. I'm still going to go, and I'm still going to press against this fear. The other thing that shows up is cultural conditioning. We were taught as young girls to be good, to be quiet, to be agreeable, to be selfless. And I think for me, I don't want to teach that to my daughters. Like, yes, I want to teach them to be good, but I want to teach them to honor themselves. I don't want to teach them to be selfless, because for me, I don't think that that's healthy. I don't think that that's good for you to be selfless, to constantly put yourself last. I'm like, what the fuck? No, I will not do that. I will honor my truth. I will honor the things that I feel is right for me. I will honor myself, and I will still follow the dreams and passions that I currently have. But culturally conditioning, for many of us, we carry generational messagings that dreams are optional or they're just selfish. You know, we fear of being seen like, oh, she's too much, or she's not good enough, or she is not ready yet. Like we fear all of these things that just hold us back. And I feel like for me, there's a point that you start to just feel muzzled. Like you cannot speak your truth. You cannot start. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. And I just got to the point where I was like so sick of it. I got one go at this life, so I'm going to give it my all. Like seriously, I'm freaking 50 years. Oh, I'm 51 now, actually. I'm 51 years old. So there's more life behind me than there is ahead of me. And for me, I'm just like, I am just going to dive deep. I am going to live this life so good and so juicy and just so all mine, because this is all I got. This is the one life I got to make shit happen. And I'm not going to hold back at it. We look at everyone's social media and we think to ourselves, like, everything looks so freaking perfect, right? And even right now, like with AI and with all these things, like everything looks perfect. And you think to yourself, like, wow, Like there's the perfect emails and everything is written perfectly and all the captions are perfect and like the lighting is perfect and all that things. And I think to myself, like, wow, that is starting to hold people back because the fear of being seen is making it even harder with everyone's perfect images and all this kind of stuff. And yes, I was a photographer before, and yes, I wanted perfect images, but the way life is now was very, very, very different from the way life was 17 years ago. Like so much has changed. And I think one of the best things we can do for ourselves and for others who are watching is give yourself permission to be seen. Some of us aren't afraid of failing. We're afraid of being seen trying. I'm going to say that again. Some of us aren't afraid of failing. We're afraid of being seen trying. So the fear of others seeing us try really holds us back than the fear of failure. Think of fear of failure like suppose if you never documented anything and if you tried something in private. Okay, so maybe you, I don't know, let's say bake a cake. You want to bake a cake and you bake a cake and it doesn't work out. Who cares, right? Who cares? Nobody saw it. Nobody knew you were doing it. Nobody even, no one's going to eat it. Like you never told anyone about it. So the fear of failure, like it doesn't matter because no one even knew. But once people know, like, hey, I want to be a baker, I'm going to try this out. And if it doesn't work, if you try to bake something and you give it to someone, maybe you bake your first cake and then you give it to someone and it doesn't taste as great as what you thought or they thought. Or maybe you record yourself on this journey of starting like a little bakery business. And then you post a video of you making a cake that was a complete fail. Maybe it burnt. Who the hell knows, right? We're afraid of being seen trying. So, one more time. Some of us aren't afraid of failing. We're afraid of being seen trying. And I think that that is so powerful because you start to realize, like, what am I really afraid of here? Am I afraid of other people seeing me fail? But what if they just know? What if they know I am becoming? I'm not freaking Martha Stewart baking cakes. I mean, I ain't Ted's Bakery, you know? Like, hey, I'm just going to try this out and I don't know, come along with me. Come along the ride with me as I try this out. And I think that that's where the fear starts to go away because you're not coming across as like, I am an expert baker. I am whatever. I am the king or queen of baking. You're not. You're just saying, hey, I think this is something that I want to try and dig deeper into and come along. You're going to see some times where things work and sometimes things don't work. But that's life, right? And I think for me, I love those stories way more better than the stories of someone who is like, look at how perfect my cake is and how perfect this is. Like, show me the real stuff. Show me your journey on becoming. Like, who did you have to become to get to where you are? That's the stuff that I think people want to see. The real, the real behind the scenes, the realness of it. Because then I think that's where you also give people permission for them to try and for them to know, like, hey, sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not. But you know what? It's not a failure. It's a learning lesson. Because guess what? The next time I bake a cake, it's going to be better. And then after I bake like 10 cakes, it's going to be better than the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, right? Every single time you do something, you get better and better and better at it. But you need to get over the fear of being seen trying. With that said, I am going to let you know that I am starting another business. It's called Malama Rituals. I haven't said anything on my social media or anything about that on my personal social media. So if you're listening to this, you could go to Malama Rituals on Instagram. I basically have like 6 followers. It's like my sister. It's like very few people who I told that I'm building this business, but I'm taking you on my journey. Like I created a couple of things that was a total flop, and I'm going to record everything because I know the more I consistently show up and do it over and over and over again, the better I will get. So if you wanted to go on that journey with me, I'm giving myself 90 days to launch that business. So if you're listening to this, I'm not going to say it anywhere else until I actually launch the business because I need products to be able to sell and stuff. And I'm in the creation mode right now. And I'm just like in the mode of like still building my products out. And I just feel like if I announced it on my Instagram, like I'm not on my personal Instagram, I'm not there yet where if people were like, hey, how do I buy this? I don't have anything to buy yet because I'm still creating it. So that's the only reason why I didn't announce it on my personal Instagram. But on Malama Rituals Instagram, I am really taking you deep on that journey of starting it. So you're going to go with me day one. Day one, the day I created the very first item that I created, the very first product I created. I mean, I am like so freaking in love with this business. Like our tenants, long story, our tenants moved out. I ended up moving this little business that was in my head into the kitchen upstairs in that unit. And I am up here like every single day at 6 a.m. I'm here from like sun up to sundown. And there's times like, have you ever been like so deep in it, like where you forget to eat, you forget what time it is, like time is just going by so fast. And that's where I'm at right now with Malama Rituals. And that's why I'm currently recording solo episodes because I don't want to get out of the kitchen to go interview other women at the moment because I'm like, I just want to be here. And anyway, go to that page. You can go follow that journey. I'm taking you all along on my journey of making all these mistakes and learning from it. So if we dig a little deeper, it's not failure we fear, it's vulnerability. So being seen trying means being witnessed in our own in between. I am not yet mastered the things that I'm creating for Malama Rituals, but being seen trying means being witnessed in my becoming. And so that's where I think maybe shame comes in, where like, oh, if something doesn't work out, that's shameful. Like you're trying to do this, but you're not that yet. And if we can be honest with ourselves, the one thing that I'm going to tell you, I cannot bullshit myself. So, like all these people who are saying, like, I am this, I am that. Like, if I'm not, I can't say it. Like, the words cannot come out of my mouth. Like, all these affirmations that people are like, I am this, if I don't feel it truly in my bones. So, for right now, the in between for me is becoming. So, I am becoming this person. Malama Rituals is becoming a brand that I am currently in the process of creating. So when I say that, it feels better to me because I feel like it gives me room for failure. Like I'm becoming, I'm not there yet. Like when you bake the cake, you're becoming a baker, but you're not Martha Stewart. You're just in the beginning stages of it. And that's where it's easier to be seen once you start telling the truth about that. For our high achieving women, being a beginner again is so confronting, like especially if we're so used to like killing it in business, if we're so used to like making a certain amount of money and push and like doing all these things, and it's like having to go back to kindergarten again. It's like, oh shit, what? And like having to step into a kindergarten classroom where you know nothing and like you just came out of like your master's degree of this other thing that you were just doing. So starting again can feel very uncomfortable. And again, we fear being judged, misunderstood, or not polished. I think for years I would post pictures of my photography business and all this stuff. And like, I just knew like I could post it and I could get more people to book photo shoots with me and all this stuff. And then now I'm creating this and it's just like, oh shit, let's hope people buy this. And so the fear of like it not looking perfect, I think also holds us back. It's not your perfection that makes you powerful. It's your courage to show up anyway. That right there, my friend, is the damn truth. It's not your perfection that makes you powerful. It's your courage to show up anyway. Let that land with you, people listening to this. Like, let that really sink in. Trying is sacred, man. It means that you're moving. It means that things are growing. It's like when you plant the seed. The day you plant the seed is not the day you harvest. The day you plant the seed, you see nothing on the damn surface, but under the surface, the seed is breaking open. It'll then start to grow its roots. Those are the things that you absolutely don't see. And that's what people don't see when you're building a business. And for me, I'm going to document me planting the seed. I'm going to document it all. I'm going to document the parts that the roots of the business. And I'm going to have you come along with me, and I'm going to show you the roots of the business before this business actually surfaces above the ground, basically. Let's talk about what happens when you start anyway, when you start scared, when you start before you're ready. The first thing is you will gain clarity through your actions. The full picture unfolds once you take the very first step. You will not know what to do next until you take the very, very first step. Movement creates momentum, and action brings alignment. The other thing is you build confidence by just showing up. The more you show up, the more confidence is built. Repetition and small wins are how confidence is built. Like, how are you supposed to be confident in baking a cake if you never bake the very first cake, if you never show up to begin with, if it's all living in your head? How the hell are you supposed to own a damn bakery? Like, your big vision is, I want to own a bakery and I want to do this and I want to do that. But how are you supposed to do that? How are you supposed to build confidence if you don't show up? How are you supposed to build confidence if you don't bake your first cake? Like, simple steps: bake the first cake. Do step one, because repetition and small wins are how confidence is built. Every time you show up, your nervous system starts to learn, I can do this. Also, you inspire others without even knowing it. When you allow people to come along, the messy, the middle, like all of it, when you allow people to come along that version of you starting, you are giving them permission that they can start too. Regardless if they're going to start in private, start in public, if they're going to document it, if they're going to tell one person or 100 people, or if they're going to announce it on their social media or whatever they're going to do. When they see you starting, when they see you becoming, when they see you on your journey on becoming, you unconsciously invite them to begin too. And it's not where you're saying like, this is how you have to do it and whatnot. It's you saying like, hey, let's just start, man. Let's just start. Let's just begin. Let's just do day one. And then guess what? Tomorrow, let's do day two. And that's how it begins. And I think it's just by being vulnerable and showing people that you too can do this. Whenever I see a woman doing something big, it gives me permission to think like, ooh, I can do that too, but I can do it in my own way. And I love that. And then I love learning about their becoming. Like, who did they have to become who they are today? I know that might not make any sense, but like, seriously, who did you have to become to be who you are today? It's the becoming, the journey on becoming, the job, the job. It's like, it's your job of life. Who did you have to become to be who you are today? A couple of mind shifts that you need to go through, and a little bit of a pep talk and truth that you want to just tell yourself is, done is better than perfect. Like, if you can just get it done and get your day one, like if you could cross off the list day one, done is better than perfect. You can't edit a blank page. Like, if you want to be a writer, how do you edit? You can't edit a blank page if you don't start. You don't have to be fearless to take the first step. You just have to take the first step. You can do it scared. You just have to start. And you get better by beginning. The more you start, the more you get through it, you become better and better and better. And just remember, your first version will not be your final version. And that is such a good thing. If I go back and I listen to the first podcast, or even if I listened or not listen, but even if I were to go back to my photography days and gosh, the photos that I took on my day one versus like year 15, oh dear, somebody refund these people. Like it was bad. It was bad. But had I not got through day one, I would have never gotten to year 15. And so just always remember this. Your first version won't be your final version. All right, I know I told you guys in my last solo episode that these episodes would only be about 15 minutes, but like I think we're like past that. So I'm going to wrap it up. But I just want to remind you, trying is brave. Being seen in the process is very vulnerable, but that is where the magic is at. That's what I'm so drawn to is like the process, the becoming. Allow people to see you becoming. And if you think you're too late to the game or you're too old, heck, I'm freaking 51 starting a new business. I'm not behind. I'm just becoming. And I'm going to end with this. Start messy, start scared, start unsure, but start anyway. You need to get through your day one. I hope this episode helps. I hope this episode hits home for you if you're a woman who wants to start a business or start something, or you're in the process of becoming. There's so many different chapters of our life that we go through. And I want you to always remember, plant that seed. And when that seed is planted, you need to water that garden in order for that to grow. But you will not see anything on the surface, but there's so much going on beneath it. I want to ask you, what have you been holding back on starting? What dreams or desires have been on your heart? And I invite you to share them. You could send me a DM at Mapuana Reed. I would love to hear about it. Or just keep it private if you want. It's totally up to you. But being seen is vulnerability, but that's your becoming. So share your becoming, because I wish I recorded myself when I was becoming a photographer. I wish I had video of myself. I wish I had audio of myself and all the things that I went through to become the woman that I needed to become as a photographer for 15 years. And so now that I'm starting this business, Malama Rituals, I'm going to record everything. I'm going to record the ups and the downs. And I just hope that, well, actually, I don't hope, I know. I know that this will become a very successful business. And I want to look back at all the failures and I want to be proud of myself for never giving up. And that's my wish for you. My wish for you is to start your day one, never give up. And I will see you on your day 100. Thanks for listening.